of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Play fake. Murray steps away. And his first pass is incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Pierce will try to pick it up. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And some room to work. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Go on,
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Now Murray off play action. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Quick slant finding Claypool. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Fields going to toss this quickly out wide, complete. Touchdown, Bears! Velus Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. 1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here and have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Going for it with Pierce. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. First down, Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Bears will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off play action, Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Oh, It's out. Smith lost it.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the third time. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing again is Fields. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. But for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and wing in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Here's Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. Now Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had him set up at ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Pierce. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Murray now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Julian Love. And the Bears will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. On first down, it's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 41. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Being chased out left. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Murray again. That's caught left side by the tight end Jordan. Down inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now for the 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pierce, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Once more, it's Pierce. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Pierce. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Texans are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Chicago. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side, so now it's and my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chase Claypool, 30 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Murray again, 2nd and 10. That's complete to Pierce. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. And he missed it. It's no good. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. On play action, Fields throws the out route and finds Claypool. And down inside the 15 he goes. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Murray going to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Here's Pierce. Is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
I give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return is Jones from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
To try again after the sack. Fields. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Fields on first down. And this is incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Touchdown, Chicago! Michael Thomas, 31 yards. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Santos with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Murray now to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He completes it to Boyd. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
First down, Murray. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing again, Murray. And now here's another interception. And the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8. Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
No let-up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold-up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. On 2nd and goal, Fields. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their... And my goodness, another interception. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Rivers here to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Rivers. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. Dancing to his left. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Rivers.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. Now Murray. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Second down and goal. Murray forced out to his left. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
We're on fourth and goal. Here's the option.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Green. What?
Now Murray's got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The fourth down pass from the 5 falls incomplete, and the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Bears, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis